Hello, Helena here from Wolfnest Property Management, coming to you today with another video regarding all things property management. This week's topic is a Utah landlord's guides and tips for writing a proof of residency letter. Utah tenants may need you to confirm a number of different aspects of their residency while renting from you. One of the simplest things a renter might ask from you is a letter of proof of their residency, which verifies that the tenant actually resides in your property. Consider a situation where your tenants are parents who need to provide evidence that their children attend a particular school, or they need to prove their Utah residency while seeking a driver's license. Perhaps they're about to start working and need to tell their potential employer how long they've been in the area. In any of these situations, your Utah tenant can ask you to provide a written proof of your residency letter. However, you should consider a few things before you start drafting that letter, including reasons behind the request, the receiver of your letter, and what kind of information it requires. Here's the following things you should know as a landlord in Salt Lake City. First, what is a proof of residency letter? A proof of residency letter, also known as an affidavit of residence, is a written declaration that a particular individual actually resides at a specific address. It's a relatively simple piece of writing. There's no need to exaggerate or riff on your tenant's positive or negative traits. You can hire an attorney to prepare one for you, but you could do it yourself and stop paying their fees. Utah landlords and property managers commonly write these letters. They often include supporting documents such as an IRS, W-4, or lease agreement to show that the person in question lives where the residence letter claims they do. This letter can be notarized in its place if the individual submitting it is unable to provide supporting documentation. A proof of residency letter is a basic factual declaration as opposed to other letters that tenants could ask for. You're no obligation to attest to your tenant's good character or make any other kind of recommendation regarding their suitability as a tenant. You simply confirm to a third party that the renter does, in fact, rent a property in Utah from you and dwells where they claim to be. What is a proof of residence letter versus a landlord reference, and the differences between? A landlord reference letter differs from a letter of proof of residency. A landlord reference letter is often written by Utah property managers or property owners attesting to the tenant's excellent character. It would serve the needs of former tenants looking to rent in a new area. A landlord reference letter could persuade a prospective landlord that this renter would be a good choice. It might prompt follow-up inquiries from the potential landlord about the tenant's ability to pay on time each month and other crucial factors that define a good tenant. As a Salt Lake City property manager or owner, you would likely be happy to write a credit reference for a renter who is reference worthy, which is to say, a fantastic tenant who is always able to pay rent on time, abides by all the lease rules, and regards the rental as their own home. However, if your tenant is troublesome, you have a difficult situation. A proof of Utah residency letter simply attests to the fact that the named individual in the letter now resides at the address provided, or that they did so at the predetermined time. This is what you should include in your proof of Utah residency letter. Your name and contact detail, name and complete address of the renter making the residency claim, date, full address of the rental home, the legal name of the individual whose residency is in question, a statement confirming your tenant is a resident of your Utah property, the length of time that the person resided in the rental home or lease period, or whether they are still tenants, how much rent your renter pays, anyone on the lease that currently resides in the rental home, and your signature. You should consider getting the document notarized or adding the tenant's witness signature. Both give the letter a higher level of professionalism. I hope that this was helpful in your tips as a property owner and a landlord in Utah. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out to us at Wolfnest.